Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I'm Jim Punzenberger, your host, creator of ManagedProspectingSystem.com and author of $0 Advertising Strategies. Today's episode is sponsored by ManagedProspectingSystem.com, the three-pillared approach to bring in consistent and reliable pipeline to replace hope that and word of mouth that's uncontrollable. So after the show, check out ManagedProspectingSystem.com. I'm excited to have Joshua Preston, sorry for the stumbling on the name, here today. And he's got a company that helps MSPs eliminate manual work and build some real automation. So, Joshua, feel free to say hi to the audience and introduce yourself a little bit deeper than I did.
Hi, my name is Joshua Preston. I am a bit of an automation nut. I tend to be lazy and don't like to do the same thing twice. So I have always been building automated routines. Even as a kid, I would automate my video game characters. Some call that cheating. I just call it efficient.
Yeah.
Actually, I would call it cheating today also. But at the time, I had questionable morals. Today, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. When you're
Back when you
actually
were a
in
kid.
business, morals matter. Morals uh, are more important than when you're just playing a video game against.
Yeah, back in the day, it didn't. Getting extra gold in the game without any effort didn't feel harmful. Doing that in real life would feel awful.
Right. So, Joshua, uh, I like to ask, guests about what they call their superpower when it comes to business, and that's typically something that they do, better, a specific thing that that they've utilized over their career to advance themselves and advance business, etc. What would you say is your superpower?
I'm good at breaking systems down into tiny parts for assessment and optimization. So it's if someone has, for instance, they onboard clients, I might dissect all of the technologies they have to go through, the process as their team members have to do to prepare the client,
Hmm.
as well as identifying the objectives that must be met for the client in order for the onboarding to be successful and for them to provide rave reviews. So I try to dissect and break apart everything into the most narrow part of it. That way we can identify where there are bottlenecks and or um, places where decisions are unnecessary or commonly done incorrectly. So
So you have any tips on somebody to make this their own superpower?
yeah, treat it like a timeline. Uh, First step from the client's perspective, first step from your perspective and your team's perspectives, and just map out the process or the system from the beginning of its timeline until the end. As you go through the process, of course, there will be points where you need to branch off into sub routines and processes and things like that. But for your initial take, it's like the most successful, most common one is what you're mapping out first, and you're just noting where the other branches are, but get to the end of it, and then you'll find that you can then handle all of the other branches really easily as well. But we do that with lots of different types of businesses, and that routine works pretty well regardless of the market they're in or the technologies they're using. So
So let's shift gears here a moment, and I'd like to also ask about industry truth bombs, or some people might call it things that you do that tip over sacred cows, or um, a belief that might be shocking in the industry. And you mentioned when we talked before that it's MSPs are way less automated than they actually think they are. Um, you want care to expand on that? How did you come to that conclusion?
it's from evaluating all of the different things the different roles in an MSP are doing today. For instance, business owners are taking on social marketing in many cases, or it's onto their marketers in many cases. But their processes for developing content for their marketing is often very manual. They're either doing their own research or talking to their colleagues or their team, and then just coming up with ideas and developing that article and that marketing material manually. An automated routine for that would be to have something that's analyzing the work that your team is already doing and then identifying the work that's more interesting and that would resonate with your target audience, and then building content for your approval and distribution automatically based on what your team is doing. And that's just one tiny example, but those examples are throughout the business. And it's all of the things that everyone is doing with technologies today. Many of those things and many of those decisions can be done proactively for us just to equip us to make the decisions that, move the line
Hmm.
instead of the ones that are simple. We make this decision based on this or this. That's something easy for an LLM to do. So we tend to try to offload simple decisions.
Hmm. So is there uh, I think maybe there's some things specifically that you you have out there that helps MSPs to do this?
We've developed a lot of workflows inside products like N8N, Roost, and Trigger. Um, Everholt's Trigger. They're workflow automation platforms, but they allow you to put AI language models at individual steps in the process, so long as the line of business product has a strong API. We can do very end-to-end considerations for lots of things. For instance, all of our inbound tickets, if it's hitting our RPA board, which is Roost, Trigger, N8N type work or API type work, it hits our AI agent that is preloaded with our best practices, our existing systems, as well as documentation for those platforms and how we implement them and how we leverage them. So it goes to a specialized agent based on that. And then the specialized agent will add recommendations to our Halo ticket automatically. And we've built that same automation for MSPs we work with as well, where different types of tickets will come in. Some line of business, some Windows, some level 3 network server type stuff. But based on that, it routes to a specific agent that's loaded with specific knowledge about the MSP and specific documentation about the systems it's providing advice on. We are going to be taking that a step further in having it, in some cases, run automation against the endpoints directly in some cases, but we haven't pulled the trigger on that for MSPs yet because it's an iterative development. Once approve without revision is the common action almost all the time, then we can immediately move into action instead of review, approve, and have it happen automatically. So it's automation is a staged effort.
Yeah. So what do you think the MSPs would be most excited about in your world?
So I'm working on something we're calling Mira. It's a dashboard. It's available for a demo view of it is available for view at themostautomated.com. And from that site, you can hit settings in the top right and change the vertical, but you can select managed services provider, commercial construction, dental practice. But Mira is going to be a dashboard that will help managed services businesses present AI and automation services to their clients. And it'll help scope it and so that they can market it, sell it, and then even implement it. The system will also build the automated workflows and custom integrations as well. It doesn't do that today, but today it's a tool a few MSPs are using to help sell AI and automation services to their clients. So it's in development as a means to make that easier because, again, the biggest challenge we kept running into was people didn't know what to do. So this helps scope
Mm-hmm.
and helps sell it also because it presents it visually and gives an estimate as to how valuable an automation can be to the business as well.
So I'm an MSP. I know that my clients could benefit from AI. Trying to figure out how to help my clients benefit from AI, but don't know where to start, don't know where to help them. This is a solution to that.
Yes. Mira is a AI and automation scoping engine for businesses. So if you had a dental practice as an example, we would load it for dental practice. It would use it would build a questionnaire to give to the dentist that they would fill out, or the dental office admin, that is.
Hmm.
And once they fill out the questionnaire, it would pre-load the dashboard with what automation opportunities they have available to them. So then they can navigate core areas of their business in terms and language that's familiar to them. So the language is based on the vertical. So for a dental practice, it's going to be using language that someone at a dental practice would be familiar with. I'm not a dentist, so I'm not too familiar with it. But in this case, it'll showcase different processes they have and how they can be optimized with automated workflows and language models and AI. And that gives them an estimate as to how valuable it could be as well. And
So like
the
how
MSP
to
is the one that delivers it in the end. But that
so
helps
like
them sell it and scope it.
this would estimate like the amount of how much time or how much money
Yes.
the client would, in this case, the dentist office would realize savings or increased production from uh, implementing AI.
And not just broadly for every individual solution. So if there are 14 plays recommended, and a play is an automated workflow or system attached to an existing process in a business. It's either replacing the process or supporting it or making it more successful. So in some capacity, it's saving time. And the questionnaire I mentioned earlier, the first part of that is identifying the scale and um, cost metrics for the business. It's not a long questionnaire. It's just like 5 to 8 minutes. But once it's filled out, it uses that to conservatively estimate how much their opportunity would be to implement said automation. If they've already implemented some automation, and the questionnaire that they filled out showcases that, the dollar amount for that automation, because it's already been implemented, isn't listed as part of the opportunity. So if everything's already implemented, they're already as automated as scoped, there will be no additional opportunity displayed. But until they've implemented it all, it's like, yo, you still have chance, you still have opportunity. Um, we're, I was about to nerd. It's not really related to the managed services side, but our engine has continuous improvement built into it. So as people identify, oh, there was a process that was missing, or oh, we didn't consider this automation, or there was a product missing, or I didn't like this data point or this metric. Any feedback or any adjustment to the system at all goes into a continuous improvement loop, which is analyzed by an AI agent that's analyzing the logic and the code that developed and designed the content to begin with. It takes those lessons and rolls them into the engine. So it's been a continuous improvement algorithm from the beginning. So as people
Cool.
use it for dental practices, the dental practice um, details and information and existing automation continues to expand and improve in quality. So
Any so Joshua, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
AI is going to keep getting better and better. And the MSP's clients are going to get it from someone. It may as well be the MSP. And I think they're best positioned to do it, but to do it right today is different than doing IT before. Before it was delivering standards. Today it's understanding your client's business, understanding their processes, and how IT, your technologies, can support that. It's not the other way around like it used to be.
Hmm. That makes
So
sense. And if somebody's an MSP and would like to learn more, uh, I think you mentioned themostautomated.com is the site to go to.
that's where I have a demo for Mira available. Um, it's a working demo. It doesn't track any information for us or anything like that. So it's local only, but it shows a managed services business what they would be able to present to their client. It's like, hey, I know you asked for AI and automation in your dental practice. Hey, let's go ahead and look over your business. And let me go ahead and just load the dental practice thing real quick.
And
So it's
so,
like total practice staff, dentist, hygienists,
mhm,
admin, number of operators, chairs. So it asks
specific
vertical
question. It's
specific
already
questions.
tailored to dental practices specifically.
Yeah, it's like treatment coordination, compliance, infection control, HR and team development, patient acquisition and marketing, clinical operations, front office and scheduling, billing and insurance are the core areas of the business. So how the conversation with an MSP would go with the dentist is they would have the dentist go through the questionnaire. It would populate how automated they are, what their opportunity is, and what the risk is not automating some of these things. And then they would see a dashboard with those categories. And it's like, hey, what area of your business do you want to look at first?
Hmm.
Like, oh, I hate the way we're doing insurance. Okay, let's go into insurance. All right, for insurance, we got verification, pre-auth requests, insurance claim submissions, denial management, payment reconciliation and posting. What area of insurance do you hate? All right, let's look at the automation for that area. And then, oh, you don't implement that. That's not implemented. Oh, that one's not applicable to you. And then it's just filling out the dashboard. And at the end, they hit a button that builds a report that's basically their automation plan to transform their business into a business that's 2026 worthy.
Cool.
All
So
right, excellent.
Josh, well, thank you for coming on today and sharing. It's an exciting time right now, and it looks like you have some exciting things in the works for the MSP marketplace.
I hope so. I hope it makes things easier because I've just seen a lot of struggle.
Well, until next time, I'm Jim Punzenberger, your host and creator of Managed Prospecting System. Now would be a good time to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. And don't forget, stay hydrated and caffeinated. Bye for now.